Hello, I'm Theodore Bouloukos. We're here in New York at the Armory Show with Leo Koenig of the eponymous Leo Koenig Gallery, and we're here at his booth, and we're going to be taken around to look at some of his artists. Welcome.
Hi there.
Tell me, when did you begin your gallery?
Started in 1999 in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, good 7 years ago.
And then you moved to Chelsea.
Moved to Broadway in 2000, and then I think we moved on to Center Street pretty much right after September 11th, in sort of the in Soho, Little Italy, I guess.
Okay.
And then came to Chelsea in 2005, 6.
Oh, okay. So I knew you were in Chelsea.
Now we are in Chelsea.
But it was a longer trajectory than I realized.
Yes.
I was noticing the Alexis Rockman behind us. Maybe we could talk about him first.
Yeah, these are the new body of works on paper. Alexis is working on a big show at the Rose Museum. He's going to travel to a number of galleries and museums afterwards. About 50, 60 of these works on paper. He basically works on them flat on the ground. He's very, very sort of aggressive with the paint application. These are oil on paper. He works with all kinds of solvents and so forth, and they basically are they're images of
natural disasters,
of global warming. Whatever his issues are, natural issues. So in this case, it's a mudslide. In this case, it's a dried up Aral Sea. And this image is actually a famous image from I remember seeing this in the Times, right, David? It was in the Times? Yeah, it was I think it was in the New York Times, and so that kind of inspired him to do this piece. And it's very graphic. It's very sort of painterly.
Yeah, it's
and
beautifully
so it kind
painted.
of stepped away from his photorealist or his realist, very hyper-realistic kind of way of painting. Yeah,
but it's very lush.
Yeah, it's great. You know? Yeah.
And what is this? Does he varnish it somehow?
It's in progress. I mean, he really kind of uses all sorts of mediums while he's painting. So that's how you get these different sort of textures. He paints with spatula knives, with these spackle knives in the center here, and it becomes just really very kind of loose and almost abstract.
And then he gets this sort of three-dimensional effect too. So
Yeah.
Wow. But are the works always very political in nature?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah, that's really. I mean, this is where Alexis is coming from. Absolutely. Yeah, he's got something to say for sure.
That's good. And behind us,
Wendy.
Wendy.
This is Wendy White, who I've seen this in a show in Chelsea not too long ago, 4 or 5 months ago, and I was really taken by it, and met her very recently, maybe a week and a half ago or something like that, and just asked her to be part of this booth. And so we chose these 4 sculptures in the painting, which I think is a great presentation of her works.
What is she doing?
What is she doing?
Yeah.
She makes sculpture and makes paintings.
Yeah, but I mean, what is she saying?
She's not saying much. I mean, it's just a form of sort of expression, in a sense that it's an abstract work, and you kind of, it's a little bit. I kind of relate it to Greg Bogin's work, which you see in a second here. These sort of hard-edged abstractions. There's obviously a lot, graphics plays a big role in there, but it's a very loose form of that. And I like the combination with the sculptures. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of irony in here. There's a lot of sort of
Well, you could almost think of it as an abstracted still life of a basket of fruit. And then pixelated into the sculpture,
that's one way of putting it.
It's thrown.
Sometimes I see this as I relate to this work visually much more so than
something more
concern
figurative.
myself as to like what is sort of like being depicted here. And I think that what I like about it is this sort of very minimal, the very sort of ironic way of sort of dealing with different materials and combining them with the painting and making the sculpture kind of work with it.
Right, and the minimal use of color, but done so boldly at the same time.
Yeah. Very crass and and acrylic paint. So then there's Tony Matelli. It's a resale piece that we have. It's an early piece. It's first chimp piece.
This is cute.
It just came back from the Palladium Tokyo, and it's a New York collector that's reselling it. So we're offering it here at the fair.
This is wonderful.
And then I'm going to have to quickly cut this short and talk to some people. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I got non-stop calls from like the organizers.
Koenig. This is
Greg
Greg Bogin,
Yep.
very sort of hard edge, but it also reminds me of Jan Arp a little bit, even though Arp would be round. There's something, maybe it's just the way it's like the silicone that he paints with such a sheen, or
well, it's actually he switched to
fiberglass.
This is wood, and then it's painted with car lacquer. So he's switched to car lacquer, which makes the paintings much more sort of glossy and robust. And so the sculpture obviously is applied. The paint is applied in a very similar way to the painting. It makes it a very sturdy sort of piece, and it's he's always worked with sculpture, never like in a sense that it becomes so. Usually it was more architectural, whereas now they really are independent freestanding sculptures. You put some lights underneath there, so it becomes like a hovering. I see it as a it's a very sort of has a sort of extraterrestrial feel to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
And obviously that's something that he kind of plays with. It's like, just reminds me of a logo of like a, what do you call those, around the Starship Enterprise or whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
So so that's what that's playing with.
Yeah, it's marvelous.
This is Gelatin. It's a reproduction of a show that we had last year called the Tantamounter. It was a giant copy machine. Gelatin, it's a group of 4 Austrian artists. They lived in this together with a therapist and another artist friend of theirs, Naomi Fisher, and so they locked themselves into this box that they built in my gallery, and made and basically invited people to come in to bring things that they wanted copied. So people would actually come in, drop whatever their original was into this box, ring the buzzer, it would get pulled in, and then these guys are sitting in there like in a workshop making copies,
like a mimeograph, a video, Xerox.
Yeah, here's an example. Like, somebody would put in this is actually one of these things that came in and out, a lighter, and out comes like this kind of little copy of it. So it's with whatever material they had, they would make a copy.
Did they replicate the entire space?
They replicated the entire space.
Oh my God!
And that's what we're looking at here. And
so
it
looked like this mad workshop.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now these are these auxiliary drawings or paintings behind you from Gelatin?
No, it's different artists now altogether.
Oh, okay.
There's Tom Sanford. There's a sculpture of Tony Matelli right over here.
Okay.
And that's David Scher. That's drawings by David Scher over here.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I really like the comic effect that you brought to the Armory Show.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Great.